I knew I was in trouble the moment he called me pretty boy in front of the entire class. And the worst part, I blushed. Not out of anger, but because a part of me, God help me, liked it. You'd think falling for the cockiest football player in school would be the kind of mistake only soap opera characters make. But here I am, notebook in hand, heart doing cartwheels every time he so much as smirks in my direction. His name is Cole Anderson, captain of the football team, professional troublemaker, and the kind of guy who walked into a room like he owned the air people breathed. I hated him. At least, that's what I kept telling myself. It all started in sophomore English. I was sitting quietly in the back, scribbling ideas for a short story, when he leaned over my desk without permission. "What's this? Shakespeare? Love poems? Don't tell me you're writing about me." He said it with that arrogant grin, the one that made people laugh and roll their eyes in equal measure. The class erupted, and I wanted to melt into the floor. But instead of pushing him away, instead of telling him to shut the hell up, I just stared at him, noticing the flecks of green in his hazel eyes. My silence betrayed me. He smirked wider. From that day on, I became his favorite target. Or maybe his favorite excuse. The thing is, Cole didn't just tease me in class. He started showing up everywhere. At my locker, in the cafeteria line, even when I stayed late at the library, he'd mysteriously appear, tossing a football in his hands like it was all some cosmic joke. And then, there was practice. I wasn't on the football team, but I had volunteered as a student manager, mainly for community service hours. The job was simple: hand out water, record stats, carry clipboards. I expected it to be dull. What I didn't expect was Cole zeroing in on me every single practice, turning drills into an endless string of accidental encounters. A wink here, a brush of his shoulder there, a lingering look when no one else was watching. Every pass he threw, every touchdown he scored, it was as if he was aiming it all in my direction. And I hated the way my heart responded, sprinting faster than his 100-yard dash. "Why me?" I asked one afternoon after practice, finally gathering the courage to corner him by the bleachers. The field was empty, the sun dipping low, painting the world in gold. My chest was tight. I wanted answers. Cole tilted his head, sweat dripping from his hairline, his jersey clinging to him. "Because you're fun to mess with," he said simply. But the way his eyes softened told me there was more. So much more. I wanted to scream. I wanted to laugh. I wanted to kiss him. Instead, I rolled my eyes and walked away. But deep down, something had already cracked open inside me. That's how it went for weeks. Him pushing, me pulling, him smirking, me pretending not to care. But the truth, every time his hand brushed mine when I passed him a water bottle, every time he whispered, "Hey pretty boy," under his breath where only I could hear, felt less like teasing and more like confessing. And I was terrified of what would happen if I let myself believe it. Because believing meant risking everything. My friends, my safety, my heart. But then came the night of the homecoming game. The stadium was packed, the energy electric. I stood on the sidelines, clipboard in hand, pretending to focus on the plays. But my eyes kept finding him. Cole, charging down the field, fire in his veins, determination etched across his face. He looked like he was born for the spotlight. And yet, in the brief moments between plays, his gaze flickered to me. Always me. It was reckless. It was dangerous. It was undeniable. By the final quarter, the game was tied. The air was thick with tension, the crowd roaring, And in the middle of it all, Cole caught my eye, smirked, and mouthed words that made my heart stop. For you. The next play was chaos. He sprinted, dodged, leaped, and landed the winning touchdown. The stadium exploded. His teammates swarmed him, lifting him into the air. But even then, his eyes searched for me through the crowd, finding me on the sidelines, frozen in disbelief. That night changed everything. Because when the field finally cleared, when the cheers faded into the night, Cole didn't run to the locker room. He ran to me. His chest was heaving, his hair damp with sweat, his grin wild and unrestrained. And before I could think, before I could process, he grabbed my wrist and pulled me under the shadow of the bleachers. You saw that, right? He asked, voice breathless. Saw what? My voice cracked. That touchdown. It was yours. My heart pounded in my ears. Cole didn't joke like that. But he wasn't joking. Not this time. His expression softened, the cockiness melting into something raw, something real. I'm not joking. Every pass, every play, every stupid nickname I've been saying it all along. You just haven't been listening. I wanted to run. I wanted to stay. I wanted to let myself fall. And maybe I already had. Cole's words hung in the air like a challenge, daring me to believe them. My pulse hammered so hard I thought he might hear it. We were standing so close I could feel the heat radiating from him, the scent of grass and sweat clinging to his skin. And yet all I could think about was how impossible this felt. You can't mean that, I whispered, but it sounded more like a plea than denial. He didn't flinch. His hand brushed against mine, tentative, as if testing how far he could go. I do. And I don't care who knows it. My brain short-circuited. Cole Anderson, the boy who had spent months tormenting me with smirks and jabs, was standing here with his guard down, letting me see the truth he'd been hiding under all that bravado. The boy everyone admired, the boy who walked around like nothing could touch him, was letting me touch him now. In the one place no one else could see. I should have walked away. It would have been safer. But I stayed. And for the first time in weeks, I let my heart speak louder than my fear. You drive me insane, I muttered, shaking my head. Half the time I don't know if you want to kiss me or ruin my life. He grinned. That familiar cocky grin. Only softer now. Why not both? I laughed. And it broke something inside me. Broke the walls I had built. And when he leaned in, I didn't stop him. The kiss was clumsy. Urgent. A rush of everything we'd been holding back. It was both a beginning and a confession. That night, nothing else mattered. Not the crowd still buzzing in the distance. Not the fear of being caught. Just him and me. Beneath the bleachers. Rewriting the rules of who we thought we were allowed to be. But reality has a cruel way of catching up. By Monday morning, whispers had started. People noticed how Cole lingered by my locker. How his gaze softened when he thought no one was paying attention. High school corridors were war zones of rumors. And we were suddenly the main headline. You and Anderson. My best friend, Mia, nearly choked on her soda when I told her the truth. Are you out of your mind? He's him. I know, I said, rubbing the back of my neck. But he's different when it's just us. You wouldn't understand. She looked at me, eyes narrowing, then sighed. Just promise me he won't break you. You've worked too hard to put yourself back together. Her words stayed with me, because she wasn't wrong. Cole could break me, easily. And maybe that's why. A week later, When his teammates started noticing the shift between us, Cole pulled away. Not completely, still shot me secret smiles. Still brushed my fingers when no one was looking, but the distance grew. It hurt more than I expected. Practice felt emptier, colder, like I was standing in a place that used to mean something but now echoed with silence. I told myself I'd imagined everything, that the kiss, the confessions, the tenderness, had all been some cruel joke. Until the night of the away game. We lost. The bus ride back was heavy with silence, the sting of defeat clinging to everyone. But when we pulled into the parking lot, Cole didn't follow the others into the locker room. Instead, he found me. His eyes, usually full of fire, looked tired. "I'm done hiding," he said simply, and before I could respond, he kissed me again. Right there, under the fluorescent lights of the parking lot, where anyone could see. Gasps rose from behind us, whispers spreading like wildfire. But Cole didn't care. He held me tighter, as if daring the world to try and take this from him. I should have been terrified, but instead, I felt free. The fallout was brutal. People talked. Friends distanced themselves. Teammates threw suspicious glances. But through it all, Cole stood by me. He didn't retreat. Didn't pretend. He sat with me at lunch. Walked with me to class. And when someone muttered something ugly under their breath, he stared them down until they backed off. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't easy. But it was real. And little by little, the storm quieted. The whispers dulled. Life moved forward. By spring, it wasn't a scandal, Anna Maria, it was just us. Two boys who had stumbled through fear and pride and doubt, only to find something worth holding on to. One afternoon, we sat on the football field long after practice ended. The sun sinking low, painting the sky in colors too beautiful for words. Cole lay beside me in the grass, one arm tucked under his head, the other reaching for mine. "You know," he said, his voice softer than I'd ever heard it, "I used to think winning games was the best feeling in the world. But then you showed up, with your damn notebook and your serious face, and suddenly none of it mattered anymore." I laughed quietly, squeezing his hand. "You're ridiculous." "Maybe," he admitted, turning to look at me. "But I'm yours. And that's the only thing I'll never joke about." And for the first time, I believed him. I believed in us. Because love isn't always loud. Sometimes, it's hidden in smirks, in lingering touches, in stolen moments beneath bleachers and whispered promises on empty fields. Sometimes, it's messy and terrifying and fragile. But sometimes it's enough. And as the stars began to scatter across the sky, Cole pressed a kiss to my temple. And I knew. Every practice, every teasing remark, every reckless play had been more than a game. It had always been a confession. And I had finally said yes. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.